Hackers have leaked over 166,000 Taylor Swift Eras Tour barcodes, escalating their $2 million extortion demand from Ticketmaster. How did these hackers manage to steal the Ticketmaster's barcode data for the Taylor Swift concert tickets? Cybercriminals are now using AI tools as a disguise for infostealing malware that range from GoldPickaxe stealing facial data for deepfakes to Vidar hiding behind fake AI image generators, exposing vulnerabilities across both mobile and desktop platforms. How can you protect yourself from these infostealing malwares disguised as AI tools? And finally, Cloudflare recently identified a chilling BGP hijacking incident that disrupted its 1.1.1.1 DNS resolver across 300 networks in 70 different countries. How did Cloudflare manage to mitigate the impact of this hijacking incident, and what long-term measures are they recommending to prevent future occurrences? You're listening to the Daily Decrypt. Hackers have leaked barcode data for 166,000 Taylor Swift Eras tour tickets, demanding $2 million to prevent further leaks. This will impact upcoming concerts in Miami, New Orleans, and Indianapolis. So in May of this year, the well-known hacker group Shiny Hunters began selling 560 million Ticketmaster customers' data for $500,000, which Ticketmaster claims is a breach resulting from their Snowflake account. So in April, hackers compromised Snowflake databases from at least 165 organizations using credentials stolen by information stealing malware that affected major companies such as Neiman Marcus, Advanced Auto Parts, and notably Ticketmaster, which ultimately led to this breach of these barcodes, which total in about 30 million. So there's about 30 million barcodes that is alongside 680 million user records. And they're saying that if the ransom isn't paid, they're going to leak this data. Among the artists and events affected would be like a Pink concert, it's mentioned here, and Sting, as well as a lot of sporting events, including Formula One, Major League Baseball, and the National Football League. So I'm not sure what the hackers are trying to get at here with these stolen barcodes, because every Ticketmaster ticket I've ever had has a rotating barcode. So every 10 minutes or so, it'll give you a new barcode to avoid this kind of thing. It's genius, and it's really annoying because you can't screenshot your ticket. So you're sitting there in the line, you know, having that ticket anxiety that we all have. Like, it's not going to load when I get up to the front. I'm going to have to wait, and people are going to get mad at me and all that stuff. And so, you know, with airline tickets, we'll take a screenshot. And so we just know, we have that confidence that it's going to pull up when we get to the front of the line. But with Ticketmaster, these barcodes rotate. And so Ticketmaster is essentially saying that you don't have to worry because those barcodes, whatever barcodes the hackers have been rotated out. And anytime Ticketmaster is in the news, I like to point out that they're one of the biggest and most annoying monopolies, and they don't treat the musicians well. Coming from a former musician, it's all business to them. In fact, I recently went to a concert where I purchased the VIP package experience through Ticketmaster that allowed me to meet the artist, get some signed merch, get to go to the sound check and all that stuff. And when I arrived at the venue, I was able to go into the sound check, which was very short. And then I had to wait around till the end of the concert for the meet and greet, which wasn't happening. It didn't happen. I was one of the last people at the venues waiting for this meet and greet, and it never happened. So it turns out that Ticketmaster sold me a package that didn't exist. And without telling me, they downgraded the package, but they didn't change the price. And so I've been back and forth with Ticketmaster for the last month. Okay. All this to say, they're very annoying, and they don't care about the consumer or the artist because they have an entire monopoly over the entire music industry, and they're working towards sports as well. So we hate Ticketmaster. If you work for Ticketmaster, I'm sorry, it might be a great place to work, but I kind of wish this attack was more successful. And I don't love saying something like that. I don't wish any attack is ever successful, but I hate Ticketmaster a lot. Unless you've been living under a rock for the last 2 years, AI generative tools are the hot new thing. Every company is coming out with their own version of artificial intelligence. And there's been a lot of news about like deepfakes and, you know, generating images of the people in your life or whatever for malicious purposes. But, you know, you can also use these tools for good. You can generate headshots of yourself for LinkedIn, which is insane, or use them to alter pictures that you like or whatever. But you have to be extremely careful. These companies, these AI generative image companies, are spinning up left and right because there's a lot of money to be had in it. Just like a $10 a month subscription will make them a billion-dollar company, right? So they're spinning up left and right. How do you validate if a company is legit or is it just new? So setting aside that rant for a second, we'll get into the news a little bit. There's a new mobile malware called GoldPickaxe that steals facial recognition data to create deepfake videos for fraudulent transactions. It's targeting its victims through localized malicious apps. So essentially, they've used some sort of tactics to boost their SEO on the app stores, and you download the app and all of your data is being stolen. So I don't have much specific information about the apps that are loaded with this infostealing malware, but what you do need to know is it comes in the form of a mobile app, at least for now. And so if possible, do your image generating in the browser with trusted sites, maybe like Midjourney or just ChatGPT itself. Check out consumer reviews. And my guess, I don't have this validated, but my guess is that if it's charging you money, it's probably not malicious. That's not entirely a safe bet, but attackers tend to prey on things that are too good to be true. So like a free app that will do everything that you want it to do forever. That's very enticing to a lot of people. And so attackers are probably going to hide behind a free app or a free service. Not to say you should go pay for these services, not to say that if you do pay, it's safe, but use all the techniques and tactics that you've learned on this podcast and validate before you use. And finally, Cloudflare's DNS resolver service at 1.1.1.1 experienced an outage last week due to a border gateway protocol or BGP hijacking and route leak. This incident affected 300 networks across 70 countries, but had a relatively low impact with some users unaffected. So more specifically, in the afternoon on June 27th, Electronet incorrectly announced the 1.1.1.1/32 IP address. And this incorrect route was accepted by multiple networks, including a tier 1 provider, which led to the traffic being black holed. 1 minute later, a Spanish telecommunication provider leaked 1.1.1.0/24 upstream, further compounding the routing issues. Cloudflare identified the issue about an hour later and resolved the hijack within 2 hours. So the company disabled peering sessions with the problematic networks and engaged with affected networks to mitigate the impact. Luckily, Cloudflare was using resource public key infrastructure, which helped in automatically rejecting the invalid routes. So for the long term, Cloudflare is planning to enhance their route leak detection systems with more data sources and real-time integration. They're planning to promote the adoption of RPKI for the route origin validation. They're advocating for the implementation of the mutually agreed norms for routing security, or MAN-RS. Let's see, they are encouraging rejecting IPv4 prefixes longer than a /24 in the default free zone, or DFZ. And the list goes on, so if you're curious about what Cloudflare is doing to help prevent this in the future, or some more information on this type of route leak, be sure to check out the article in our show notes below. There's a lot of information there, including screenshots.
This has been the Daily Decrypt. If you found your key to unlocking the digital domain, show your support with a rating on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. It truly helps us stand at the frontier of cyber news. Don't forget to connect on Instagram or catch our episodes on YouTube. Until next time, keep your data safe and your curiosity alive.